Welcome to the Jason and Osi podcast, brought to you by Lazy Boy and 888, the official partners of the NFL UK and Ireland, here in New Orleans on Radio Row, Media Row, all that. We are live, Super Bowl 59, New Orleans, Nolans.
Okay.
But before we get started.
What is going on? We're live right now?
We're live, bro.
Oh, my
this
goodness
is go time.
gracious. Oh,
this
my goodness.
Time.
Okay,
I
my
need
bad.
you to show off the outfit right now.
Should I get up or
yes,
what do you want me to do?
I need it to be all in view.
You want me to get up?
I need the whole thing, bro.
But I don't know how to do that.
Well, just kind of like do it where I can see the whole thing. Get like hunch over or something. No, man, it's not. I can't see it all. Yeah, like see yourself right there.
I have to stand up.
Yeah,
for you to be
stand
able
up
to
a
see
little
it
bit.
properly.
It's about the fit. It's not about you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
now
yeah.
you see it.
Yeah. Talk to me about this first of all before we get started.
Listen, I got to represent for Africa.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I love the United Kingdom. I love the United States, USA,
Yep.
USA, USA. But I still got to represent. I still got to represent. For Nigeria, for home, brother. You know?
You look good, my friend.
I appreciate that. Thank
you look
you.
good. I missed you.
Definitely, man.
We were busy. We were both doing different things, so we finally got together. Back at it, man.
Yeah,
Every
we're here.
year, I feel a lot of energy sitting in this seat talking about the Super Bowl, the upcoming game with you.
Yep.
Very interested in your thoughts on it. We have a few guests that'll come in and drop in and out, and we'll talk to them. But before we get started, because I only got so much time with you, my brother.
Yeah.
Are you ready to do your prediction?
You want me to do it now, or
You don't have to. Is it game day?
No, game day. Game day is when I usually drop the predictions.
Yes.
But if I tell you what, J Bell.
What?
For you.
No, you don't have to do it now.
No. For you, if you want me to give the predictions now, I'll do that. For you, for our podcast people.
Okay, so this is for our podcast people. What I want, and we can get into it, is there's so many conversations. Tell me why you think your pick is going to win. So, boom,
Why?
and a matchup.
Okay.
Just a why.
Okay.
A simple why.
Okay, so the truth of the matter is, J Bell, and I'm being completely honest with you.
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay.
I still don't know.
Okay.
I'm still trying to feel this whole thing out. So right then I was just going to give you an answer.
Yep.
But the truth is I don't really know who's going to win. And let me tell you why.
I'm listening.
I want you to go with me on this journey.
I'm here.
Okay?
Come on. Let's step up
Come
to the
with me.
challenge.
When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs,
Yes.
right? They're on the verge of history.
They are.
They're on the verge of doing something that has never been done before.
Without
right?
a doubt.
If this team wins the Super Bowl, three-peat, nobody's ever done that.
Never
right?
happened.
First team to ever do that.
In the Super Bowl era.
In the Super Bowl era. Who's their opponents? The Philadelphia Eagles.
Fact.
Right? Okay, good. A team that nobody really thought was going to be in the Super Bowl, right? I mean,
They're talented.
Yeah, they're talented, but the Super Bowl, based upon the way they did last year, I'm like,
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yep. I would say before the season, people were talking about Detroit. So to your point.
And they're in the NFC East. Where am I going with this, J Bell? Let me tell you where I'm going with this. In 2007, ladies and gentlemen, there was another football team that was on the verge of history.
Oh, my gosh.
There was another football team that was on the verge of doing something that has never been done before.
Oh, my gosh.
And we call that team the New England Patriots.
Wow.
18-0. They were about to go 19-0. And there was this pesky team from the NFC East, the New York Giants, who stepped up and said, no. And now you have an exact same situation. You have an AFC team, a behemoth, a team that's on the rise, a team that could be winning 3 Super Bowls in a row. And what do you have? Another lowly NFC East football team right there from the same division as that New York Giants. And they might be the team to thwart history. So history tells me that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game. But, J Bell, I think about the conversations that we have. I think about where's the parity in the NFL.
Yes.
And you look at this coaching staff of the Kansas City Chiefs, you look at Andy Reid, you look at Steve Spagnuolo, who was on the opposite side of that shattering history in 2007. They have the better coaching staff. And there's no parity there. So if anybody's going to overcome this trend that we're talking about, it would be the Kansas City Chiefs. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm trying to figure out right there in my mind, because I have 2 different things going on in my head, And that's where I'm at with it, J. Bell.
I wanted to start fast because I knew you were going to deliver.
Yeah.
And you just did.
Thank you.
That put me in a place where I am confused. I need navigation because I'm backed into a corner.
You understand?
I need to get out of here. My Google Maps is not working. It is frozen right now.
How are you going to fight against the things that we've seen before? We've seen this before.
We've seen this before. And I was reading something that I love. Super Bowl. SB.
Yes.
Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
Okay. Records to be broke. Records to be broke. He can break Terrell Davis's all-time rushing record in the postseason, like all year, season plus postseason. The things he can do. When you look at this team, if that trade doesn't happen, if the trade doesn't happen, if he doesn't leave New York, the destiny is different for him. It's different for them. That is a beautiful storyline. You have a team that is talented. They got the talent, man. When you look at the Eagles, that roster, talented, physical, beat you up, have explosive plays in the run game, not necessarily in the passing game, but Jalen Hurts operates his offense the way it's supposed to. It reads like a good book. Stop the run. You want to sell out to do that, one-on-one on the outside. Gotcha. But this game is about moments. This game is about players. This game is about situations. Who wins them? Who dominates them? You got coaches that are going to find ways to disrupt the other team's offense, right? Because it's going to come down to a turnover.
Yep.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Kansas City, obviously.
So everything I said didn't have
It almost got me, bro.
Almost.
I'm on the fence. Okay. I could be. We got a long podcast.
Got you.
I could change my mind.
Okay, cool.
I want you to bring this narrative in.
Okay.
Because we talked about coaches.
Yes.
Right? And for all of our listeners, we like to give you nuggets. Super Bowl is long. The timeouts are longer. The halftimes are longer, right? It's just longer. When you talk about tactics, play callers, it's all about information. It's all about getting the information, digesting it, and going out on the field and making sure you make it happen.
Yep.
Well, with more time in the Super Bowl than ever, these coaching matchups really matter. Now I can say, boom, hey, they're doing this, get this change. Was that your experience in the Super Bowl? Was there more information? Did you feel like you had more information on that field?
I think in the Super Bowl itself, no. I think we had a pretty good understanding of what exactly we were going to do. But to your points,
do you feel like you're being talked to more?
100%. Because there's a lot more time, right? But the thing is, your mind in that particular game, your mind is going at 1,000,000 miles a minute. Because there's so much going on. There's so many thoughts. You're like, oh my goodness, we're in the Super Bowl. So your coaches are telling you things, and you almost have to rely on your instinct. You almost have to rely on what you've been trained to do over and over and over again. Because if you're going to wait till that last minute to try to adjust in the Super Bowl, it's a very, very tough thing to do. Now, I will say this.
Interesting.
I will say this. The defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs, Steve Spagnuolo, he has done some things that I've witnessed that I have never seen before and I've never seen since.
Tell us now.
I remember we were in a game. I don't remember exactly what team we were playing against. And he's on the sidelines, right? This is what he used to be on the sidelines. He's watching the game. He's watching everything. He's pacing back and forth. And he came in. He was like, they were doing something. So he came in. He was like, hey, listen. He gathered everybody around.
Came into the huddle, huddled you up on the sideline.
Had everybody on the sideline. He's like, listen, I think this is what's going to work. We hadn't studied it. He had never called it. He came up with a brand new defensive scheme right there on the sideline.
This
is
my
point. This is what we're going to do. Drew it up. He was like, oh, so you go here, you go here, you go here, you go here. Safeties, you go here, you show here, you show here. And we went out there and ran it, and it worked, J-Bell. When I got home that day, I said to myself, I was like, who does that?
That's the Osi. That's the nugget I'm looking for.
Yeah.
When we talk about this game, X and O's, players, all that, it's It's about strategy. And it's about who can adjust to the game we're playing. We've prepared, but they have too. And we know there's a specific amount of plays for that game. Yeah. These are our core plays we're going to run against them because we think they're going to work. How fast can we figure them out? And they probably got 2 in the bag they're saving for the fourth quarter, right? Yeah. If our coach can adjust and tell us on the fly, this is what you're going to do, and this is the technique involved with that, it gives us a chance. Yeah. And that is where you talk about the moments, the continuity between players, that matters in a game like this.
Yeah, there's no doubt, man. And when I go back to the initial train of thought that I was talking about with the Philadelphia Eagles and the upsetting of history, the part that gives me pause is Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo. Those two people, I'm like,
I know.
Are the Eagles really going to – I'm not talking about the players.
No, because they're loaded with talent.
I'm not concerned about the players.
No.
Are the Eagles really going to be able to overcome those two? Are they going to be able to overcome Spags and Andy Reid? Are you joking?
No. You're right on point, because in football, right? Somebody has the hard down. Somebody is in a one-on-one or is in a tough situation. And good coordinators, defensive coordinators, are hiding who that person is. You have to guess on this down who it's going to be. We get to watch that. Watch us on ITV. We're going to break this down live, full speed. It's going to be fun. But, Osi, that is the nugget I was looking for. Yeah. Let's bring in somebody who's played recently against these teams. The world-famous Efe Obada. Hello, my brother. Sit down with us. We love you. We miss you. Efe is going to be on the live coverage with us on ITV, and he is ready.
Good, bro.
Look at him looking like my bodyguard. I love it.
Got that bread. What's it called when Shador was doing that? Shadoring.
How you feeling, man?
I feel good. Thank you guys for having me, man. Always.
You've been busy today?
I have.
What were you doing earlier on here, and describe to the people at home from your experience what this is like?
This is amazing. You know, it's a circus full of friends and familiar faces, and it's just everything that celebrates the sport. You know, and I get to see my favorite 2 people in the world.
We're happy you're here, man.
And you're going to be on the coverage with us, right?
Yes, I am.
You excited about that?
I am excited about that. Really? You guys are like Goliaths in this industry, and this is something that I want to do.
Yeah.
So to be able to be there, shadow, learn, grow, just watch you guys do what you do, honestly.
So we can be 3 kings, basically.
Exactly.
We need our glasses, though. Tell Osi to come through with the shades for us, though.
With the shades?
The shades.
I like. They can be only one person. They can be only one.
Okay. And everything is
under control.
Efe, I got to ask you a question, man. You had a spectacular season with your team. I mean, nobody expected you all to play like this. The Washington Commanders,
we did.
Your quarterback who came and said what's up to you yesterday at the honors, gave you a big hug. When you look at that team and what you were able to accomplish and getting to the point where you were doorsteps away from having the opportunity to play in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
When you look at that, did you know, or when did you know you had a special team?
We, honestly, I think immediately. And this was probably in OTAs for me, from my experience. Not to slander the previous regime, because Ron Rivera, great guy, gave me my start. I'm always going to have love and respect for him.
He gave you some love the other day also.
Yeah, I also saw him. But, you know, when Dan Quinn came into that organization, when the new ownership came into that organization, they did something that I've never experienced before or seen. And this was, you had owners, you know, getting the main guys, the leaders of the team, and asking them, okay, what do we need to change? And then actually taking that feedback and implementing it. It was even things as small as, okay, well, we don't have this type of soap in the showers, and they changed that. We had a lounge, we had all these different things, so it made it an environment where we wanted to work. Second, for the first maybe 3-4 weeks of OTAs, we didn't even look at the playbook. It was literally, who is this guy? Who's his family? What's his favorite color? What's his favorite team? What's his mascot? We learned and we got to know.
I've never heard of
each
that
and
before.
every, that's what I'm saying. We got to learn and know each other. And so now, you know, it's not just surface value. Oh, you know, head coach telling the
so each player Each teammate, you went through his whole background.
We went through the whole team, and then sometimes there'll be in team meetings where we get quiz. Oh, Efe, tell me something about this person. Oh, tell me this, and it just brought us so close. And we had different activities, events, and then when it was time to go, okay, these are my guys now. I know my work ethic is, what I put out there is going to implement this guy's kid because I know his name. I know it's this person's wife. I know his reason for why he's here. And so everybody got on that same page, and then from then, it was just about the scheme. It's about the effort, and playing ball.
So I'm gonna tell you.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you what happened. Right? I figured it out. and the only reason why I figured this out, J Bell, is because on the way here, on the plane ride, right, when I was coming to Atlanta, I watched a movie. And the movie was called Remember the Titans.
Oh, my goodness. A
movie.
Classic, an all-time classic.
And in the movie, they did the same thing.
They did.
They did the same thing. Remember, they went out to the
You're
camp.
right.
And in the camp, before anything, and the only reason why I remember this is because I just watched that film, and it brought the team so close together because they're thinking about things differently.
Right.
Now you're playing not just because you're
Right.
playing because this is like your brother. You understand him. You guys are bonded in a completely different way.
Exactly.
And so I think more teams should implement that as opposed to just thinking everything is, just go out here and do your job. No, football is a game that you need emotion.
You do.
You have to have your people with you. You have to be able to play for the guy next to you.
Without a doubt.
And so that's a really, really interesting thing that the guy did.
Do you know what else happened because we did that? When we had some adversity, it wasn't, because I've seen it. I've been a part of some losing teams. And any form of adversity, it's, okay, well, I did my job. It's the core. It's the coaches. It was, we faced some adversity, and nobody looked at the next person. Nobody blamed. There was no murmurs in the locker room or in the hallways. It was literally, okay, older guys telling the younger guys, this is what you need to do better. Younger guys telling older guys, okay, I need this from you. Guys now going out 30 minutes earlier to the field, coaches being out there, and it's everyone invested in trying to fix this thing. Our brotherhood was unmatched.
This, Efe, I really appreciate you sharing this with us, and we got to talk about this on the live broadcast because when you talk about championship football, you talk about winning something, Super Bowl 2 times, you are remembered for what you did with your brothers, your sisters, the people in that organization. It isn't about the individual accomplishments, but to tap into that, with what you both are saying, you have to know about the person next to you because at some point the sacrifice has to occur.
Yep.
And when I look at you and I'm like, I got to do this for F.
Right.
I got to. Or vice versa. That's when that occurs. And that's why you are a doorstep away from that. It's no surprise, right, OC?
Nah, no surprise at all. Really, really happy to see that football team, to see what you guys accomplished over there. Well, let's talk about you, though, Efe.
What about me?
What year is this for you now? 8, 9?
This is year 10 for me.
10 years.
Oh, my God.
Before you go, everybody needs to understand, listening or watching, how hard it is to get to 10 years in this league. And let me tell you why. There is no minor league. They're trying to get rid of you. When you're 10 years in the league, you're expensive. What do? Is it that valuable? And to your point, that connects to everything else, I'm sorry, because I just need to let everybody know. The reason you're in that locker room is because of what you bring on and off the field, the person you are in there. That's why you're on that team, and that's why this team had that much success. That is very hard to do, Efe.
Years in the NFL.
Yes.
That is some of the most unbelievable stuff I've ever heard. When people understand your story, what you've been through, to even make it to the NFL.
Right.
And now 10 years, and you still have a couple of years left to
For
play.
sure.
How does that feel?
Yeah,
Like,
tell us. Seriously.
really break that down. Because I have a glimpse, I have a little understanding. I started a little bit late,
Yes.
but not like you. That's a different level.
You know,
Explain that to me.
my journey gives me perspective. It allows me to appreciate and value where I am and what I'm experiencing. So I'm not seeing it from the lens of, this is something I've always wanted to do. I got, scouted, 4-star, scholarship, all of those things. Like I wasn't So I came from the real world. I came from working in warehouses, cleaning jobs, trying to working in McDonald's, all these different, just being a regular guy, and then now getting this golden ticket to do something that 99.9% of people in existence probably won't get to do, and it's an honor. I have the ability to provide for my family, and that's my number one priority. That's my main thing. It's now giving me a platform to impact my community, so that I lean on that heavily, and I just go to work. I embrace the journey, and and you can attest to this. It goes by quick.
Yeah.
I look back and I'm like, oh wow. Now I'm the vet now. Oh wow,
You're OG.
You
Unc. They call you Unc.
I'm Unc now.
You are Unc.
There's guys that I play with that were born in 2002.
Crazy.
You're like, what?
Unc.
What? He put you in Unc category. I'm staying out of that.
I'm
big bro. I'm big bro.
Don't go to. You're big bro. He's big bro.
On the football field.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. On the football, in the locker room, you Unc, because that's 10 years.
I'm 10 years.
I'm big bro.
I got one question for you, man, and then we're gonna let you live. Everything you've been through, this whole journey. If there was a piece of advice you would give to anybody, that is something that you remind yourself of, what would it be?
Put God first. You have to put God first, and then you have to sacrifice. Like, you have to sacrifice time, you have to sacrifice family in terms of like how much time you give to them, you have to sacrifice friends, you have to sacrifice habits, you have to sacrifice even the things that you think you don't have to sacrifice, the amount of time you spend on Instagram, the amount of times you have watching on Netflix. You have to sacrifice so much just to see, and you might do all this and you might not even get the results you want, but you have to do it in order to give yourself a chance. I sacrificed so much, I cut off so much for years before I even saw a result. And through that was just faith, blind delusion, self-talk, motivational videos. My YouTube is just constant motivational videos. Eric Thomas, I know his speech from start to finish. Sacrifice, blind faith, and yeah, that's the
Mic drop.
Incredible.
That's incredible.
Efe Obada, the one, the only. Nigeria, UK, the whole nine. We are out here, bro.
Yes, we are.
Big Unc.
Yeah.
Big bro.
Thank you, brother. Hey, can't wait
Thanks
to
for
do the
having
broadcast
me.
with you, man. Appreciate you, and
Amazing.
we'll see you on Sunday, my brother.
Definitely.
Thank you for that. That's a big word, too, man. That means a lot. Oh, love you, bro. Love you, bro. All right, the train keeps rolling, Osi.
That's it?
The train keeps rolling.
Who got here next?
Man, we got somebody coming in right now. Flashy, dashy.
Okay.
I like his watch too right now. Let's be honest. He got the chain flowing, man. What's up, my bro? Louis Rees-Zammit. What is up, my guy? How you doing, man?
You have to. Yeah, Super Bowl.
How's New Orleans treating you, man?
Oh, it's amazing.
You like it?
First Super Bowl. I'm so excited to be here. Meet everyone. It's amazing.
You've done a lot. You've seen a lot. There's some big games this weekend you got to lock into probably. Your old team is playing tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, yeah.
So
Big game tomorrow in the Six Nations. Wales, Italy. Obviously, my old team. Supporting the boys. Can't wait to go watch, see how they do.
Do you have your spot? You going to watch it at yet?
I haven't, no. But because of the time difference.
Yeah.
I think I'll be in a bar somewhere.
I know. It'll
I
be
gotta
fun.
tell you something, J-Dub.
Tell me.
Now, we've been out here for a long time.
Yes, we have.
We've had a lot of players come through the International Player Pathway Program. Some guys doing really big things. But not to put any pressure on you, man, but we can't wait for you to blow up.
Hey, I can't wait myself.
The people can't wait
for you to blow up, buddy. Oh, we're going to ride this gravy train.
You're going to be tired of it.
Hey.
We're going to ride this gravy train, Louis. I'm just telling you right now,
Don't
bro.
worry about that.
Hey,
I'm trying
listen,
my best.
take your time, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Get right, but once it's time to go,
Let's go.
we're ready now.
Yeah. What's it like the difference in the locker room, the vibe? Like, what has that been like? Because not a lot of people can speak to that, man. It has to be a really cool journey. You know, everything we talk about is practice. Yeah. People want to talk about the games, but it's going out to practice with the fellas, the meeting rooms, all that. Yeah. Talk to us about that experience, man.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, this journey that I'm on, I think the past year has been like very challenging, mentally and physically.
Why?
I mean, it's not an ideal start to go from club to club, from position to a different position. I think that's been very challenging to kind of understand and try and approach every day the best version of myself, but then having to adapt to different things. You know, obviously going into Kansas City, playing running back, leaving 3 months later, going to Jacksonville, playing wide receiver. I mean,
that's tough, man.
I'm going from room to room, trying to learn different playbooks, different language, different playbooks, different positions. It's just been very challenging, but it's one that I prepared myself for this. Like, I knew I wasn't being able to walk into a team. Like, I've never played the sport before, so I'd prepared for this. I knew how challenging this was going to be. I'd maybe not to the extent of like leaving a team and joining a different one, but you know, I prepared for this. But going back to like the atmosphere and you know, the locker room, the differences, I think it's very different, like the UK and America. I think in the locker room especially, you know, you got music blasting. In rugby, it's not so much that. I mean, in the last team I played, we weren't allowed music in our locker room before game. It was headphones, let everyone concentrate, whereas I've come over here and everyone's blasting music, everyone's dancing before the games. It's been unbelievable, but that's something like I've absolutely loved, like just throwing myself at, and it's been such a change, but it's one that I'm absolutely loving, to be honest with you.
So I think there's another thing that people truly need to understand, and even you. Mm-hmm. It takes 3 to 4 years.
Oh, for sure.
you understand?
That's the thing. I feel people need to have patience, man.
It takes 3 to 4 years to fully make that transition. So a lot of times, no matter how good of an athlete you are, the idea and the impetus is to go out there and be like, you know, hey. But because it's such a completely different sport, it takes time. 100%. And the best players who we've had come through the program. It took them 3 to 4 years. It took them time.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
And they're still in the process of learning.
Yeah.
The other thing that's really, really important for you and for everybody who is following your story is you could go to one team and flame out. Yeah. And you can go to another team and be a star. Yeah. Based upon nothing
without a doubt.
I know.
You understand? Yeah. And that's like it's a very interesting thing for people to truly understand, because they can look at you, people on the outside, and be like, well, he's not. Meanwhile, it has nothing to do with you. Yeah. This team saw you as this. Mm-hmm. This team saw you as that. Yeah. Meanwhile, you're this. Yeah. And if you don't do this, you won't be a good player.
No,
if you do this, you're going to be an incredible player. Yeah. Yeah. And everything really, a lot of it is out of your control. Yeah. And it's when you realize that and you understand that, you have to keep working and you have to keep grinding. Yeah. But one disappointment and you going somewhere else could actually be the difference between you being a great player and you being out the league.
100%. And that's one thing I've learned this year. Like, you know, becoming an NFL player or leaving rugby, going to the NFL, like throughout the season, I was meeting new boys every week. Like people get cut, people come in every week. In and out, and they're just waiting to find the right person. And you know, you got to grind as much as you can every day to become that person. And that's kind of, you know, the mindset I've got. I'm not thinking about up here. I'm thinking about building my way up, because as you said, I know it's not going to work first year. Like, and I've learned that firsthand this year. But I was, as I said, I was preparing myself for that, because, you know, I've had thousands of messages. Are you going to go back to rugby? It's not going to work for you. It's been a year. Why is it not working? No, I didn't leave that to just leave it for a year and go back. I'm gonna put my whole life and soul into this, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at least I've given it a good go and spent a couple of years trying to do it.
Bro, I just listening to you, man. Met you several times, know the story, but as a former athlete, like, I have so much respect for you. It's hard to be good at anything. You're great at something, You want to go do something else. All these ups and downs.
Yeah.
You're still going out there forging ahead, still grinding. It's amazing, bro. Like, people need to understand that.
Yeah.
And I know people have asked you this, but I really want to know, like, during this process, what have you learned about yourself that you didn't know? Like, something a light switch had to go off, and you're like, I thought I was like this, but man, I really am. Or I have a level of resilience I didn't think I had. I mean, what has it been like?
I mean, the biggest thing for me probably is, like, my rugby journey was so, like, clean. Like, it was just going from one level to another, and I didn't have any downs. And I've come over here, and it hasn't been anything other than downs, really. I mean, it's been unbelievable being at a team, going to another team, playing different positions, trying to figure it all out. But I think, you know, those downs are only going to help me rise up again. And that's one thing I've really prepared myself and also learnt in the past year. I feel like I've learned a million things this year, which is only going to better me for the following years coming. And it's been, as I said, it's been such a tough process, journey, mentally. I mean, mentally, I've never really had any downs, and I've had a load this year, but it's just about picking myself back up and going again. And, you know, that's all I can ask.
How quick
for myself.
does that happen? The process of, oh man, I don't like the way I feel, to, all right, let me just, Mr. Motivator, get back on the horse.
I mean, because it was my first time this year, like, having a real down, it was like, how long can I dwell on it for? But it's in this league, you're not going to get anywhere without forgetting about it straight away. And that's even play to play. Never mind leaving a team, joining another team.
Fact.
So I've learned that within a year. So I'm just ready to go all guns blazing next year, and wherever I'm at, I'm going to give it my all, and then see what happens from there.
There's nothing to be learned from all ascension.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
You understand what I mean?
Nothing.
Like
That's
that's
something to go.
Yeah.
It has to be like that. That's something that has to happen. I mean, so many things. I've been benched before. I've been, you know, told I wasn't good enough. I went out there on the football field and got dominated.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, wow, like, you know.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't happen to you, you go through life thinking one thing, and then the most important thing about that is, now, no matter what happens in your life, having been through this, you're going to live to be 100 and something years old, hopefully, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
You got like 80 more years, but what you learned this year,
Tell him.
what you learned this year is going to carry you for the rest of your life, man. It's an incredible thing. You're going to be successful. I have no doubt in my mind.
No
I have
doubt.
no doubt in my mind.
Just listening to you, man, just, you know, you can't fool us.
Yeah, I know.
You know, we all know. Like, we've heard it all, we see it all, but just the way you're breaking it down and what you've done, man, you got to be really proud of yourself, man. And like Osi said, it takes a while. And even though you've had to bounce around, people keep choosing you. That's the difference, man. Talent is real, and that's what they're looking for.
I mean, the biggest thing for me probably is having my family with me. I mean, my mum, dad, and brother moved out to Kansas City with me. And then they switched and moved to Florida with me, to Jacksonville. Like, without them, I think it'd be a pretty tough place to be. You know, especially with what I've having to experience this year. But without my family, I think it would have been tough. But I just want to thank them for, you know, everything that they've done for me since I was 6 years old. They've been to every single game.
Wow.
I think they've missed like one game, and don't worry, I've been onto them about that one. And now I'm 24. I turned 24 last Sunday, so.
24. He's a kid, man.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
But yeah, just for them to be on the whole journey with me has been unbelievable for me, and it's just helped me settle into any place that I've been.
What do you prefer, running back or receiver?
Oh, receiver.
Receiver,
100%.
Okay.
100%. I think it suits my body type. My speed can go further there. I think just everything that I've always wanted to do is being in receiver. And obviously I didn't get that opportunity in Kansas City, but being on the practice squad at Jacksonville this year has really made me realize, like, I am a receiver, and that is what I'm going to fully go for. And we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited for this year, and hopefully I'm gonna go out and grind every day and be the best version of myself.
I love it, man. We appreciate you sitting down and talking with us, and we're your biggest fans, man.
Yeah.
And you got a receiver over there you can watch, man.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Thomas, that boy can fly, man.
I appreciate it, guys.
All right, buddy.
Thanks,
Keep
man.
rolling, man.
We'll
For
see
sure.
you around.
Thank you.
All right.
Man, that was amazing, Osi, man.
Yeah, it was. That's cool.
Really so
Really
cool, man.
Yeah,
Just
I'm happy for him.
breaking
I'm
it
happy
down.
for everything He's done, and he's going to be great.
Yeah, now,
Oh, here we go.
now we got
Here
our
we
guy,
go.
Henry Hodgson. He was just on the phone breaking down big contracts, you know what I'm saying? Big deals. What's up, my friend?
How are you guys doing? On my favorite podcast, I get to join you guys.
Finally.
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 Let me come on here.
We had to get a proper
Super
stage
Bowl.
for you, like at the Super Bowl, where
is
you need to be,
beautiful,
my
isn't it?
bro.
How you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Can't
You
complain.
look fantastic.
You like this outfit right
I
here?
do.
This is my NFL Africa / because I represent 3 countries. So
Yeah, I know you.
today I had to represent
You-
Africa.
Africa today.
Yes, absolutely.
So how are you splitting the time up? Africa today.
Africa today.
Saturday.
Saturday is going to be the United States.
Okay.
And then UK on Sunday.
On
which
ITV.
is the most important.
Don't miss it.
UK is the most important.
Thank you very much.
UK,
and Ireland.
and Ireland. My bad.
see.
You have to.
UK and Ireland.
Speaking of Ireland,
Yeah, Mr.
that's
Henry.
big
Go on the
news,
segue.
no?
Yeah.
Some big
That,
news,
that man
ain't
has
it?
spent a lot of time on
Big
TV.
Tell us what's
There is
going
some
on.
big news. So we just announced today that we're going to play for the very first time, play a regular season game in Dublin, in Ireland, at Croke Park with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
How many?
And for you, as someone who
Yes.
played in the first game
Yes.
in the UK, you know
Yes.
what that's like. It's a big moment. We're really excited.
I cannot wait to go out to that game right there because I know the Irish. I know they get down, right? Like they are a fun group of people, passionate group of people, and I know they really support the Steelers, the connection with the Rooneys,
Yep.
and all those things that are going on. So how did this come about? Like break that down for everybody.
There's a few things that led to it. In 2022, the Steelers became a global markets program, the GMP club for Ireland, the first team to go in there. And you're right, they have that authentic connection with the Rooney family that came from Newry in Ireland and obviously emigrated to Pittsburgh and founded the Steelers. So Dan Rooney was ambassador under President Obama to Ireland, and there was a lot of work that he had done over the years to establish a relationship with the Rooney family back with Ireland, and so it was sort of a natural thing for them to become a GMP club in Ireland. But they stated day one, when they announced that they were going to go there, they had an event at Croke Park, and they said, we want to play a game. One day we want to play a game in Dublin, Ireland. I was at that event, and it was like, wow, okay, this is this is a big team, and for them to come in and day one say that that's what they wanted to do, it opened the door for it. I think we were always aware of the passion of the fans there. You talked about it, and I'm sure you've met some of them along the way at London games or wherever else. And then we just started building relationships. We built relationships with the stadiums there. We built relationships with the government there, who have been really important in this process. With the GAA, which is the Gaelic Athletic Association, who have their own set of sports, and we've seen their athletes and the passion for their sports. And I think all of those things, and then, as you know, the NFL's desire to grow the sport around the world, to play more international games, just led to this opportunity. And today's the day that we got a chance to announce it.
So do you see it as being just a Steelers thing? So anytime we play in Ireland, it's going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No.
Okay.
No, this is, already since the Steelers were in there, now the Jets and the Jags are part of that program. I'd expect some other teams to join up in that market. No, this is the NFL wanting to go into Ireland and do what we do everywhere else in the world, and try and recreate the blueprint that you guys have helped us create in the UK with participation with flag football. We had for the very first time last week an Irish team from a school in Ireland went and represented Ireland at the Pro Bowl in the International
cool.
Flag Football Championships. We want to have the right broadcast mix in Ireland. We want to do all the things that we've done elsewhere. We want to grow the sport there because there is such a passion amongst Irish people for sports. I think they're just going to take to the NFL and take to our sport in a huge way.
I got a personal question. What year were you an intern when you started? Your first, I saw the letter, you posted it, when you started at the NFL. What year was that?
Well, that even was, the first experience I had working with the NFL was probably 1993 or 1994.
Right.
I wrote a letter to the NFL and said, can I come and
That
do
was so
some work
cool.
for you? And I ended up going to a preseason game in Berlin, Germany, between the New York Giants and the San Diego Chargers. And it was the year after Lawrence Taylor had retired. And literally my very first experience of kind of NFL, go get something done. They said, here's a bag of balls, go knock on Lawrence Taylor's bedroom door and get him to sign these doors. They're giveaways. And let's just say it didn't go to the plan that I had when I was a 16-year-old kid knocking on Lawrence Taylor's door. I'm going to leave it there.
Okay.
16?
I was 16 when I did that.
Wow.
I then got a chance to work for the London Monarchs, and that was whatever, when I was probably 18, 19, but it was, it was me being passionate about the sport, wanting to be part of it.
The reason I asked you that is you're sitting here. Dublin just got announced. You've seen all this happen. Like, do you ever sit back and think, what is going on? Like, you've seen it all, bro. Like, not a lot of people can say that.
I'm very lucky to have seen it, you're right. But it started with me being passionate about it, right? So as a kid, I watched it and I was like, this is amazing, this is cool, and I want to be part of it. Now, unlike you guys, I'm not an athlete, so that was never going to happen.
You look like an athlete, my friend.
But I wanted to find my way into it, and I'm lucky to have done it. But you're right, I've seen a lot of that evolution, and there are moments, you have to. I go back to me as a 10-year-old kid, and I get the goosebumps at our London games every year when those games kick off, or when you're on the sideline and you see it going on. I take myself back to me as a 10-year-old kid, going, imagine this. It's very cool.
So take us through that process, like for you personally. I think you're sitting here now, you're the head of NFL UK and Ireland. You run this, right? And you started, as you saying, being passionate as a 10-year-old kid, and you go to do the thing with Lawrence Taylor. How has that journey been for you to go from that to now where you're the one in control of everything going on out here in the UK and Ireland?
I don't know about that last bit, of in control of everything, but I appreciate it. It's fun, it's hard to look back on that stuff because it's happening to you in real time. And like I say, there are moments where you get a chance to look back. And I think, I've been really lucky to have incredible mentors and bosses and people who've taught me how to do
Dave
things the
Tossell,
right way.
shout out Dave Tossell.
Dave Tossell, Alistair Kirkwood. People who I worked with in the US. And so, there are moments you take bits from all of those experiences. I got a chance, as I said, to live in the US, work for the NFL there, see what it's like. It's one thing how it's growing internationally, but to see what a juggernaut it is in the US and understand how you can borrow pieces from there. So I think, looking back, it's been my life. And I'm very lucky, I think, to have been able to work in the same organization, but at a period of incredible growth. And so it's been a fun journey.
You know what? This is so cool because the first time I met Henry, I lost my wallet. Just met him.
Was it the last time you lost your wallet? Or?
So every
Maybe
time,
it's a coincidence.
And every time we go into contract negotiations, I lose my wallet.
So, I don't know where my wallet is,
Henry, I don't know where my wallet is. And he just shakes his head. Man, it is so amazing, man. When you just, somebody who has passion for something has made it their career. And I think we have a lot of kids that listen to our podcast. They do. They're in the car with their dads, their mothers, and they listen. And I think this is a great story that when you're passionate about something, pursue it. It could be your career. Now, you have some tough days, man. There's a lot of things you have to do that might not necessarily be fun, but you're doing something you enjoy. And I think everybody needs to understand, focus on their passion, chase it.
It doesn't often feel like work.
Yeah.
And that's the real thing. And that's why I love it.
Except when I lose my wallet.
Those days.
What would you say is next for us here in the UK? Well, I'm obviously we're in
Not
New
here.
Orleans.
I get
not
it.
here,
I
but
get what you're saying.
What's next? What's the next level? Where are we going with this thing, Henry?
Look, I think there are a few pieces to it, and I think playing a game in Ireland is one part of it. I could see a world where, games in London, we look at other cities within the UK and maybe take this to different places there. There are certainly more viable stadiums since we started doing that, and that's something that perhaps we'll look at in the future.
Glory, man United. Sorry, go ahead.
I think participation is really important to me. I think what we're constantly striving for is how do we grow the next set of fans. There were a bunch of people my age in the 80s that fell in love with the sport. There are people who since London Games have come back who've discovered it, obviously because of the incredible work you guys have done for the last decade.
Thank you, brother.
Bringing people into the sport, making it more accessible, helping people understand it. We've had more fans that have come through there. But I really believe that participation is the more kids get a chance to play this sport and then see it and say, I want to be like that guy, I want to be the next Lamar Jackson, I want to be Patrick Mahomes, I want to run it like Saquon, I want to play like Osi. and Jason.
Yeah.
Then that's really how you fall in love with the sport. And so I think for us, what we have to keep pushing is that participation, and flag is so accessible for boys, for girls to learn this sport. That's a big part of what we're going to be doing.
That's a man with a plan, Osi.
Definitely he's got a
That
plan.
is a man
Definitely
with
has
a plan.
Definitely has a plan.
Man, I know you're busy.
There's just really
Go
quick.
ahead.
And I've always wanted to discuss this because I don't truly, this was before my time. But every time I'm in a cab, right, and I'm speaking to a cab driver, or I'm on the tube, and people say, hey, yeah, NFL, well, they always refer back to a period of time where they became massive NFL, and they all have the same exact story, right? So we almost have to recreate that in a way, but I don't know how you do that in this media landscape, right?
You're exactly right, Osi. I think what's changed is the moment that I think you're talking about is kind of mid-'80s.
Yeah.
Channel 4 came on air, and they got the rights to the NFL, and it was on a Sunday night, and it was, there were 4 TV channels, there was no internet, there was no social media, there was no streaming, there was no anything else, and I think it was up against some religious programming, literally sheepdog trials, dogs herding sheep.
Oh my gosh.
And the Antiques Roadshow, and so everyone was like, flick, flick, flick.
What's
is
this?
Cool. What is this? Right? It's the sun's out. These guys look, these incredible athletes. At the time, maybe soccer wasn't having its best period. It was, and so I think that's the period you're referring to. I think that's impossible. Honestly, I think it's impossible to recreate that in a world now where there's a proliferation of different entertainment options for anyone at the touch of a phone or whatever else. But I do think that there are lots of ways we can do things like that. And I think, trying to... The sport is an important part of it, the cultural elements that people fall in love with, the outfits, what people are wearing, what people are saying, who people are dating, all of that stuff is other ways we can bring attention to. And I think the NFL is synonymous with entertainment.
It is.
We're going to see on Sunday an incredible halftime show with Kendrick Lamar in New Orleans. And so we have to keep bringing all of those things as well, making that part of what we do.
Excellent, man.
I appreciate you and allowing us to go on this journey with you, man, because you're right, man. And just hearing you break it down sounds fantastic, fun. And, hey, man, the future, what it's going to hold for us is going to be amazing. Appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you for
coming out
me.
here.
I appreciate what you guys are doing.
Making it happen for us, bro.
You guys have done a fantastic job. You do a fantastic job, and we're really lucky to have you. And that's another thing that back in the day I couldn't have imagined that we would have guys like yourselves who have played at the very, very highest level and then come to the UK and do what you're doing now. And genuinely, you guys have changed the game for us as part of that process.
I wouldn't want to talk sports anywhere else. I wouldn't want to talk about this game anywhere else but the UK. UK first?
UK and Ireland first.
There it is, bro.
We're going to build a wall.
You couldn't make it out without him. you almost made it. You almost made it, man. I mean, we've been blessed, had great guests on today, and this is what it's about. Coming here, Media Row, started off as Radio Row. Look at it. Outlets from around the world, real TV stations set up, and we all have a story to tell.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, can't wait for this
guys.
game. Hey, who you picking?
A great game.
That's why that's why I got the players are on. I love it, man. Hey, till next time, we'll be back in the UK when we get back on this mic. Hey, we appreciate everybody for all you have done, rolled with us all season long. This is what it's about, the best game of the year on Sunday. Lock in.